everyone.
Greetings.
Get myself all
Please.
situated. Hi, everybody.
Greetings.
How are you? Hi, Dave.
Hello, young lady.
Hello, co-host Dave.
Hello, co-host Simone.
How are you doing?
Well, I smile as bright as the sun outside. How was you?
I'm wonderful. You know why, guys? First thing, didn't get a ticket today. Every day is a good day when you don't get a $225 speeding ticket.
That is for sure.
Welcome, everyone, to Here to Help You. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't tuned in now, thank you so much for actually watching the post-video.
Re-video. Wow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, we are broadcasting pretty much all over the world because it is digital, right?
Yeah, we're everywhere.
Right, so
and we're going to be everywhere soon. Not yet, but we're getting there, right?
Well, I think we are everywhere. I mean, it's on the internet, so it's everywhere.
Do you know why? Stop being so technical, Dave. Do you know why?
Sorry.
Why is my seat so low? I feel like I'm shorter than you. Anyhow, guys.
We'll make a change soon.
No, honestly, I feel like I'm shorter than you. This isn't right. I can't see enough of myself. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. And we are going to have an excellent show for you today. We're going to actually have two parts to this show. So we'll do part this week and a part next week. Yeah, we have enough information.
I think so. I think we have enough information to do two parts.
We'll be able to do two parts and give you guys a full blast of who we are speaking about. And today, who are we honoring? We have a couple things on our agenda today. So, you know what? Let's do some housekeeping first.
Let's do that.
All right. So, let's start with housekeeping. So, everybody, teachers, parents, the last couple shows have been really good education-wise. If you haven't had a chance to check out the last 2 weeks, I would definitely say go back where we were honoring and giving homage to the queens of Africa.
Yes.
And the reason I bring it up now because it's ISU time. So for those who don't know what an ISU is, it's an independent study unit. Your teachers may have already handed that out to you. And it's usually where you're able to pick something that you want to speak about. It can be a world issue. It could be sometimes a person. It just depends on what the teacher wants. But I've always known that if you have a strong enough topic and you bring it to your teacher will say, all right. So parents, if your children come home, your students, they're not children anymore. They'll kind of get vexed for you even calling them that. If your teenagers come home and they're like, listen, we have an ISU, this is a really good thing for your children because this tool, what we've been doing for the last couple of weeks, the research is a really good start. Of course, they have to do more.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much just scratched the surface on of course. Right. We pretty much just scratched the surface on I believe it was 8 women that we went ahead and featured.
Yeah.
Within the past 2 weeks, right?
You know who's the most controversial, Dave?
Tell me.
Queen Charlotte. She was the most. Let me tell you something about my feed. On some of my feeds, people were going off.
Yeah, I believe you.
Going off, getting pissed, getting vexed. Well, why are we even talking about this? I got told that I was negative for posting it, and I was like, I'm not posting what my thoughts are. I'm posting what's been said, right? Like, someone today I found the most recent one is someone said, "Oh well, she's not mulatto." I'm just like,
oh wow. Although even that word mulatto, I mean, a mule is of course
a mixed breed, a donkey and an ass.
Not even just that.
But a donkey and a horse.
Not even just that.
Ass and a horse.
Hold on, can I finish?
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Right, it's a mixture, of course, yes, as you said, right, between a donkey and a horse, right? But the kicker is that particular animal cannot have children, so it's sterile.
But we know that half-castes aren't sterile. She had 15 pregnant. Have you guys not been paying attention? Does she sound sterile to you?
No, but I'm saying, right?
Maybe after the 16, and that's not even I'm guessing including miscarriages. We even talk about that.
But even to use the word mulatto.
Yeah, right? It's very degrading.
Yes, it is.
So I guess maybe that was his point. He was saying she's not mulatto, she's black. Okay. Power to the people, my brother. I can't remember your name. I should have called you out and then sent you this video because I spoke about you. Because I don't want to speak about you. I'm just, talking about some of the stuff that we've been hearing. But
yeah, it was crazy, man.
It's like this type of information that I'm saying for our students would be really good to kind of discuss.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure. I mean, like the very prominent people, that we know very little of. right? I mean, considering the fact that where we are, right? We hear, of course, of, Champlain, right? And there's well others, famous, Anglo-Saxon, leaders, But for us as Africans, right? It is up to us to go ahead and actually do the homework ourselves so we can go and present it in the manner that we need to.
Yeah, we need to know more about art. I don't understand. Like, you know what? I get it. I guess I can see why history has been boring for our students, and even for some of you adults, why sometimes you see the word history, you're like, kiss teat, who cares? Because I think it's the approach to it is boring, and I really believe that I blame the school system for that, because they drilled that damn Champlain bullshit in our head for so long, guy. Everything's the same. First World War, Second World War, U-boats. Who cares about no damn U-boats? We have no damn U-boats in Africa. We have lions, though. And tigers and hippos, and they're talking about that stuff. If I was in history class and I was hearing about like some of these queens, how they were warriors,
right? You
know what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be like, yes, this is something I can aspire for. Not that I'm inspiring people to be warriors or anything. Yes, I am.
Yes,
we are.
In
actually,
your own right. Yes.
Like we should be pushing our younger people to see some of the greatness instead of we've been bombarded with this negativity for so long. It's like when we hear something great, we're like, oh, but it's boring. No, it's not. It's you guys. It's you even knows if they could be connected to some of these people.
That's exactly it. Remember the gentleman we met at Sister Elaine's event?
Yes.
Right, who was what, maybe 15th, 16th generation of Mansa Musa? Mansa
Musa, who's the richest. If you guys don't know who Mansa Musa is, he is one of the richest men in the world. And I mean, bump. He is the richest man in the world. Bump Bill Gates with your dega billions. Go I ain't worth nothing. You are rich when you can walk around and just give a goal. That is rich.
Yeah, man. You bankrupt economies, so.
Like, that's rich with your local Microsoft money. No one cares about your Microsoft money, brethren. Come out of here with that. Go talk to Mansa Musa. I'm just saying, though, all jokes aside, though, like, we have a lot of, like, even a young person hearing that the richest man in the world is not actually a European.
Right.
That it was actually a black man. It was a king.
Yes.
A king who walked around and just gave away gold. I feel pretty good about myself. Like, yeah, with your Microsoft money, Bill Gates. Okay, I'm done with my rant.
Are you?
For now.
Cool.
For now. I'm just saying it's important to get these images out there.
Yes, it is.
That's all. So that's our first piece of house cleaning. Students, parents, if you're looking or if you're interested in giving your children a topic to talk about, put this in front of them. I keep it PG for the most part. I won't lie. Sometimes I get a little bit out of hand. I do.
I'm sure we can edit out those parts for you.
And you can, just tell them I'm crazy. It's okay. So I don't mind. Sticks and stones will break my bones. Anyhow, so the next thing is Here to Help. What's going on with us? So, of course, we all know Here to Help You is the foundation of Here to Help You is our company, Here to Help.
That's right.
And Here to Help is a community development company, but we do this through education. That's our backbone, is the fact that we teach.
Yes.
Right? And we teach in the community. So with summertime coming up, what are some of the things that you're hearing from students and parents right now?
Oh, that they need something to do. These youth need something to do. Yes. Don't be sitting at home playing video games all day.
All summer. But listen, I think that there is a place for that because like everyone else, children need to have a break.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think so too.
Me and you were counting down to summertime. We're like, yes, 4 more weeks and school is done. Yeah, we get our weekends off.
Then I can play my video games.
Hear this now, right? He's talking to people about video games, but no.
But there's a difference between me. I can't sit at home all day playing video games.
You
right?
can't. That ship has sailed. Well, you could, but no. You wouldn't be with me. So, just saying. So, no, honestly, like what I've heard a lot is that the parents don't want their kids to like just lose everything. And sometimes there's some students who didn't do very well in a certain subject in the school year.
Right.
So the parents like, let's see if we can just go over that whole thing all over again and get them up to par. So summer sessions, everybody. Summer sessions start July 2nd. Technically it's a holiday, but I want to know that you guys know a few things about our summer program. first thing, of course, is it's only 4 days long. We are only running the program Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays,
See
and
this big
Fridays.
smile on my face?
Yes,
Because
this is
it
why
is
we're
4
smiling.
days of the week?
It's
Yes.
only 4 days, but the great thing about that is because we can get a lot of the families done throughout the day.
Yes.
Difference from last year is that this year we also have our group sessions. So you can do one of two things. If you want private, if you think your child needs that like one-on-one detailed attention, you can do private sessions. If you think you just want to keep them busy, like some of the parents you've talked about, you can send them to group sessions that are, we're in the area.
You know, we definitely encourage group sessions, not even just for the fact that just to get them out of the house, but also a lot of these children need to learn the art of engagement. Did you just? For real? I think it's because the chair's too low. Right?
It's because the chair is too low. I've never buck up my face into the mic before. This is terrible. It's okay.
Right? I mean, you know, like they need to know the art of engagement. You know, meet children that they haven't met before, right? And regards to like
Different cultures too.
Exactly, right? And learn how to build a friendship.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there's 2 students, you know, that we do have right now, right?
Yes.
And of course, their bond is they play Connect 4 at the end of the session, right?
Yes.
And of course, they bonded so well as now that if one is missing from the class,
They ask
for each other.
They ask
right?
for each other.
So I mean, it's
and
important.
they're different ages. That's a great thing about it.
It's
One's like in
important.
grade
It's so
like 3,
important.
one's in grade 7.
Right.
So like seeing that happen is a wonderful thing.
Yes,
so,
it is.
You know what? We'll end this session by saying if you want to get in contact with us, you can actually email me at www.heretohelp@hotmail.ca. You can just go online because online there's an actual application.
Yes.
Did you know that, Mr. Website Man? So Dave's been working on the website, guys.
I'm not the website guy. No. I know nothing about coding. I know how to drag and drop. That's about it.
But you can go on there also and find some information about it. When we get back, we will jump into our very first Man of the Hour.
Yes.
See you guys in a little bit.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Do you guys notice something? If you weren't here in the last segment. Welcome back, everybody, to Here to Help You. If you're just joining us, I'm at proper height now, okay? Taller than Dave, because this is how it's supposed to be.
Only in the chair.
Really? You want to stand up and talk about this?
Only in the chair.
Dave, really?
Only in the chair.
Okay, anyways.
And in high heels.
Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, last episode was just kind of a catch-up. We just did some like administrative stuff, some housework, some housekeeping stuff.
Yes.
ICU's coming up and our summer program.
That's right.
So we got that out the way. So if you want to check that out, you can go back to the last segment. Of course, I'm going to remind everybody, if you have any questions, because we're about to go into the material now. If you have any questions, you can get in contact with us at 647-931-4701. And also, if you have questions after the show, you can find Mr. Rankin on Instagram at IR_Dave_Rankin. For an English teacher, I think it's horrible English.
Perfect.
No, it's not.
It is
IR.
perfect. It's not supposed to make any sense. It's perfect.
Done.
Thank
and
you.
At Simone Jennifer Smith, I would just suggest getting in contact with me because clearly I'm the most.
Go ahead. That's right. Her only.
So I would like to introduce you to a president. Okay, so the first thing I will say is that, yes, I told Dave today that I have a crush on a dead man. And I don't know if that's sacrilegious. I don't know if that's bad. But when I speak of this man, ladies, and when you start seeing some pictures, you're going to understand why. This man, not only was he a force who was taken from us way too early, he's a man that is rarely spoken of. And when I've heard about him before, but last week, Dave and I did a series, like, I guess it'd be like almost like I guess we kind of do our own self-education. So it was like a little series on the faces of Africa.
Yes.
What channel is that again? CCTV?
The CCTV, the CGTV. I'm not sure if they both fall under the same network or not, but YouTube it.
They have a series called Faces of Africa, and it was all about these great men of Africa. And the one that stuck out to me the most, we're going to speak about right now. His name is President Thomas Sankara. Mike has been dropped. He's just like, I'm sorry, Dave, this has nothing to do with you. Okay?
I understand.
Like, he's a very attractive, look at the smile, like, just like, why? They're all the good ones get taken early and the not too good looking ones stay on. What was that guy named?
Hold on. I know I'm not supposed to defend myself over a dead man, and I won't. No, I will not. But when you tell me that the not so good looking ones.
Oh, Boo Boo, are you in your feelings? No, not you. We're not talking about you, Boo Boo. I'm talking about the men, the great men of history.
The great men of history.
Like, what's his name? What was that guy? What was his name?
Who?
Ibwe. The one who was like an idiot and he was just like murdering off his whole people.
Oh, Idi Amin.
Not attractive at all. He lived. I'm not talking about you. Hush.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So, Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was born December 21st, 1949, and he died October 15th, 1987. Okay? Now, he was a Burkinabe military captain, a Marxist revolutionary, a Pan-Africanist theorist, and president of Burkina Faso from 1983 to 1987. So he seized power in a 1983 popularity-supported coup at the age of 33. I hear that word a lot. Can you explain what a coup? It's just spelled C-O-U-P. English again. Well, this is actually French.
French word.
Coup.
Yeah, it's basically when you overthrow the person or people in power at that point in time.
And it's the people that overthrow them.
Correct. Mostly military campaigns, but yeah, you definitely need the backing of the people.
Okay. So he was part of this coup, and of course he was supported by the coup. And at the age of 33, he became president of Burkina Faso. So with the goal of, his main goal was to eliminate corruption and dominance of the former French colonial power. He immediately launched one of the most ambitious programs for social and economic change ever attempted on the African continent. To symbolize this new autonomy and rebirth, he renamed the country from Upper Volta, which is what it was called before, to Burkina Faso, which means land of upright man. So I want to just quickly show the Burkina flag, which is there. For those, and again, even with me, I didn't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know about Burkina Faso. I had no idea. This is the flag.
Yep, it's interesting because Volta was a region. I think it was parts of 2 or 3 countries. In fact, Volta, it's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's very. That's what a D. I don't remember the name, but I don't remember the exact word I'm looking for. However,
it's a D?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Basically, it's not a good word. Basically, it's.
Sorry.
Yes.
It's so funny to see you try to find this word. It's
dehumanizing. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I know it'll come to me soon, right? Basically, it relates to lungs of submissiveness.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Wow, the heat.
No, not at all.
Okay. So yes, you were saying about Volta, this place.
Right. So I mean, that's what the word is pretty much alluding to, meaning, of course, the people being submissive, or in this case, submissive to the French
which is why he did that changing it to
Burkina Faso.
meaning
There you go.
the upright man.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're going to stand up for himself. This is, again, a very young man, 33 years old.
Yeah.
33. Actually, I'm not going to talk about what was happening with me at 33. It's not the time. It's a different show. So, in order to achieve this radical transformation of society, he increasingly exerted authoritarian control over the nation, eventually banning unions and a free press, which he believed could stand in the way of his plans. To counter his opposition in towns and workplaces around the country, he also tried corrupt officials, which I thought was awesome, counter-revolutionaries, and lazy workers in popular revolutionary tribunals.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, as an admirer of the Fidel Castro's Cuban Revolution, Sankara set up a Cuban-style committee for the defense of the revolution.
Yeah, I mean, his thing was this, equality for all, right?
Big,
And more importantly, you're looking at now with a nation that now has taking independence, meaning that there's no dependency whatsoever on, of course, this colonizing force. So yes, everybody needs to get up and work. Everybody needs to get up and do something, because if they don't,
that pissed people off though.
Yeah, because you know what, kickbacks, right? In the hands of the pockets of the politicians. Some of them, of course, grease very, very well, right? And some of them the grease not so well, but still.
They were still eating.
There you go.
A lot more than some of the other people in the country were. So ultimately, and this is the thing again, sometimes it is really discouraging that he was so great, and his greatness is what actually got him assassinated. Isn't that horrible?
Well,
we're going to get there.
Yeah,
we're going to get there. But
definitely.
It's like that, all the stuff that he was trying to do to keep us equal, this is why I liked his humbleness,
right,
actually ended up getting him killed. So I want to play a little clip just so you guys can get an idea of who Mr. Sankara was.
Pays produit suffisamment de quoi nous nourrir. Nous pouvons dépasser même notre production, malheureusement. Par manque d'organisation, nous sommes encore obligés de tendre la main pour demander des aides alimentaires. Ces aides alimentaires qui nous bloquent, qui nous inspirent, qui installent dans nos esprits cette habitude, ces réflexes de mendiants. Nous devons mettre de côté ces aides par notre grande production. Il faut réussir à produire plus. Produire plus. Produire plus parce que il est normal que celui qui vous donne à manger vous dicte également ses volontés.
All right. So you guys sometimes don't see technically what's happening back here, but sometimes it's pretty funny. Anyhow, so as you can, with this video, you guys can understand, again, like this is a 33-year-old speaking about just like not folding, not standing upright. That's his, whenever I hear him speak, this is what I hear, standing upright. Like where your backbone is, like, let's get it together, people. Like, this is our land. This is, this is not their land. Like, and it's interesting again that everyone all the great leaders who really stand, I mean, put their foot down, somehow end up dead.
Yeah. There's part of it, once again, of course, people wanting everything to go back to the old style, right? And there's part of it in regards to now, that saying, total power corrupts absolutely.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So things like that is what happened, right? So I mean, there's different things for different places. But I mean, like especially in his case there, which we'll definitely get into it a little bit later in regards to the why he was assassinated, right? But as you mentioned, right, and we have to elucidate the fact that number one, nation building was a strong suit. As you can see in his message, it was something that he emphasized, and stressed, greatly. The fact. Sorry, did you see yourself?
Sorry. Wait, don't go any further. When we come back, Dave is gonna finish.
No, I'm not gonna finish.
We'll see you guys soon.
What was that?
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hi everybody. Well, I want to be happy.
Welcome
okay?
back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I like to wave people back onto the show.
I'm sure they're waving back.
No, they're not.
Probably.
They're probably driving home vexed right now because it's hot outside and there's traffic. But there's a smiling face at the end of it all. See? This is why you gotta like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please do.
Everyone's gonna be like, click. Click. Next video, Simone. Anyhow, hopefully not, because we're talking about. So the first segment, if you missed it, we did some administrative work, got through that. We did some housekeeping, and then we started speaking about the great Thomas Sankara.
Yes.
I like Sankara better.
It
not his name.
It has a different flow coming out, doesn't it?
Sankara.
Yes.
And Sankara is just
right.
But I'll say it since that's his name. So let's go back into his greatness. So I'm going to read a little bit about him here, and then I'm going to go through a list of some of the things he achieved in his short. It's only like a 4-year span that he was president, and I think it's fantastic. So his revolutionary programs for African self-reliance made him an icon to many of Africa's poor. So Sankara remained popular with most of his country's impoverished citizens. However, his policies, like you were speaking about, they alienated and antagonized the vested interests of an array of groups, which included the small but powerful Bukanabe middle class, the tribal leaders, whom he stripped of the long-held traditional right to forced labor and tribute payments, and France and its ally, the Ivory Coast. So he pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, man. Once again, self-reliance, independence, not relying on anybody else, let alone, of course, the colonizers, right? And, of course, those who had their hands in the pockets, well, got their hands chopped off.
Oh, boy. So, as a result, he was overthrown and assassinated in a coup d'etat. Did I say that right?
Yes.
I did. My French teacher would be so proud of me. By Blaise I know I'm going to mess this up just because I got the last one I got way too. See, be humble. I'm going to mess this one up and people like, oh, boo, fail. So led by Blaise Compaoré. Yes. On October 15th, 1987, a week before his murder, he declared, white revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered. Not white. Wow, glasses are needed. While revolutionaries as individuals can be murdered, you cannot kill ideas. That's terrible. My eyes are horrible. Let's get that worked out. So let's talk about some of the things that he did do.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
So he vaccinated 2.5 million children against meningitis, yellow fever, and measles in a matter of weeks. Okay?
Wonderful.
Weeks.
Yep.
He initiated a nationwide literacy campaign, increasing the literacy rate from 13% in 1983 to 73% in 1987, guys.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
In 4 years.
4 years from 13%. I would love to see what programs those were. Boy, Here to Help would be wicked right now. If I could just wipe out, that's a huge jump.
It is.
That's 54%? Is that right?
No.
64%? Math's not my thing. I'm
60.
a writer, yo.
60.
I'm a writer. I've never, ever, listen.
It's an increase of 60%.
Dave does math. I'm here to help English, okay? Not math. Whatever. So he planted over 10 million trees to prevent desertification.
Yes.
Desertification, which is when you pull out too many trees, clearly there's nothing but dirt. So you just get barren land, which is not good. So he planted trees to avoid that, which is 10 million trees. Where'd you get 10 million trees from? Wow. Okay. He built roads and a railway to tie the nations together without foreign aid. And this is the powerful thing, is he did this with what they had.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
He approved females to high government positions. Big up yourself.
That's huge.
Sankara, big up yourself. Do you see why I have a mini crush on this dead man?
Well, this is huge considering the fact that, we're looking at patriarch and matriarchal societies, right?
He understood the idea of balance. And this is what I love about this man. He understood that you need females because there's certain elements that we bring to any situation, even with decision making, that men, you cannot do. And it's not your fault. It's just that you're not equipped. Women are naturally more intuitive. And it's a skill that I think is ignored and shouldn't be. And women also have a way of dealing with problems different because we talk more. Men just want to war. Everything is war.
No bug the microphone again, yeah?
I'm trying not to. I'm just so amped. I'm into this today. So
I see.
He he appointed females to high governmental positions, and he encouraged them to work, recruited them into the military, and granted pregnancy leave during education. He outlawed female genital mutilation, forced marriages, and polygamy in support on women's rights. He supported women's rights 100%. Again, excellent leader. He sold off the government fleet. This is what I think really pissed people off because people are petty. Listen to this pettiness. This is why this man got killed. He sold off the government fleet of Mercedes cars and made the Renault 5 the cheapest car sold in Burkina Faso at the time, the official service of the minister. So these men were rolling around in Mercedes. He was like, we need to help our people, and we can't all be here driving around in Mercedes when our people aren't eating. So we're just going to sell off these cars. We're going to push this money towards these programs. And all of us are just going to drive in a car because we should be thankful that we have one.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Right? He reduced the salaries of all public servants. Yeah, man, he was asking to get killed still.
Including himself.
Honestly.
Including himself.
Including his own. And this is the thing. He didn't just do this for everyone. He really believed in equality.
Yes.
Right? And forbade the use of government chauffeurs and first-class airline tickets. People were cheesed. People were vexed. They're like, yeah, off with this man's head. You're taking away, first you took away my Mercedes. But I'm telling you, people are petty like this. People are very selfish naturally. And sometimes it gets out of hand. So he opposed foreign aid and said, he who feeds you controls you.
Yes.
Actually, this is him with Castro.
It's a beautiful picture right there.
Him and Castro were yeah, man, go on with it. But he's another one.
Well, you know, Angola, right? Angola's not too far from Burkina Faso as well. So, and that's where a lot of the Cubans are from.
All right. So he spoke in forums like the Organization of African Unity against continued neo-colonists, penetration of Africa through Western trade and finance. He called for a united front of African nations to repudiate their foreign debt. He argued that the poor and exploited did not have an obligation to repay money to the rich by exploitation. Like, I mean, he was about the people in all sense. When we talk about a president really being about someone, this is how it looks. He refused to use air conditioning in his office on the grounds, and that such luxury was not available to anyone but a handful of Burkinabes. Did I say it right? Burkinabes. Yeah. Thank you.
Good.
As president, he lowered his salary to $450 a month and limited his possessions to a car, 4 bikes, 3 guitars, a fridge, and a broken freezer.
Yeah.
A motorcyclist himself, he formed an all-women motorcycle personal guard. So he had bare women, Wakanda forever, protecting him. He required public servants to wear a traditional tunic woven from Bukanabe cotton and sewn by Bukanabe craftsmen. The reason for this is because he didn't want us to rely on outdoor industries or outside of the country or foreign aid at all. He wanted us to only be dealing with our own.
That's the importance of nation building.
Nation building.
Right?
Right.
I mean, when we get a chance, when we understand regards to what it is to go ahead and hone in these industries, right, and support these industries, right, it in turn does wondrous things, not just for the morale of the person, but also for the morale of the society as well.
And this man, again, it's so sad to know that he's gone, because what he stood for was just beautiful. And when I say ego out of someone, this man had no ego whatsoever. I mean, he humbled himself. Let me read this last section, because I know you have something to say.
Go ahead.
When asked why he didn't want his portrait hung in public places, as was the norm for other African leaders, his reply was, there are 7 million Thomas Sankaras. Okay? He didn't feel like he was above anybody else. He was just doing his job for the people. Very simple. An accomplished guitarist, he wrote the new national anthem himself. So the national anthem for Burkina Faso was the one written by Sankara.
Yeah.
Tell me this man's not incredible.
You know, I don't really have the words to go ahead and describe his great feats. You know, of course, there are other sources of material out there if anyone wants to go ahead and expand their research on Thomas Sankara.
Excellent.
However, though, in regards to for us, go ahead and scratching the surface in regards to what this man has accomplished, right? At that point in time, you had no other leader at that point in time that did what he was doing, right? Let alone who upset the same amount of people, if not more, right? During their tenureship, right? But
Jeez, take away people air conditioning. People were pissed.
But this goes to show you, guys, of course, at the time is unfortunate passing that it was a common thread among, of course, African leaders at a point in time who were overthrowing, of course, colonialists, right? That they died for the cause, right? Let this be a lesson, of course, for all of us who now are studying people as Thomas Sankara, let alone want to go ahead and start a movement for our own selves. That, listen, man, number one, to be in service of your people, right, shows in regards to like how great your heart is supposed to be, right? To go ahead and remove that type of ego, right, in the name of service for the people. It's humbling to see this, as an example, and this is something we can go ahead and use for our future generations.
He's my example, I'll tell you that much. I really appreciate this man, and please do rest in peace, ancestor, for the great things you have done for us. You will be remembered.
Of course.
When we come back, we'll be talking about another great African man. See you guys soon.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
You know what? I'm going to say something about this.
Go ahead.
Okay? I'm not going to call out the parent who said this to me yesterday. But I'm going to say this. And this is for everyone out there. And I want to speak to the West Indian community directly right now. If you truly believe that you are from an island and not a continent, I need to make sure I make this public service announcement right now. You're from Africa. That's it. It's very short. You're African. You're African. Okay, I'm done.
Done?
So all my parents, parental, one in specific, who doesn't believe that
Hold on.
is
Hold on. But you got to understand, that isn't just the mentality of just one person.
Oh, I know it's not.
There's plenty of us. There's plenty of us who, as you mentioned off the break, will primarily call themselves black, as opposed to go ahead and call himself African.
I'm not African.
Right?
Confusion.
Dr. Clark said it best. It may tell you what you look like, but it doesn't tell you who you are and where you come from.
Marcus Garvey said it best. I'd rather claim a continent than a country, an island. Go on your island. I want an entire continent. The Pangea of continents. See how I dropped that word? That's for all those people who didn't realize. Pangea, that big old crust that it was before, the root of it is Africa, guys. Everything's separated from Africa. This is some geography for you as well. And just to give us a little bit more pride, Africa, if you guys have ever noticed, there's no earthquakes in Africa. Do you know why? Because Africa is the only continent rooted to the center of the earth. Bam! Take that. All right, brethren. Run your topic. Run it.
Oh, that's not bad.
See how I dropped the mic there?
Yes. Let me scroll on my
and you
my
go
list of
research
notes.
that too. Go ahead, research it. Center of the earth. All
Okay.
right.
So, the next person we want to go ahead and talk about today, Joseph Ephraim Casely Hayford.
Never heard of this guy.
I know.
Wow.
Right. Very early picture of this gentleman. So here's a list of pecking order. He's from Ghana, right? And anybody who knows Ghana, of course, and their leaders, their first thing that's going to come to mind is Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is Kwame Nkrumah's teacher's teacher.
Ooh, so we going back.
Yes.
Dave, you always try to one-up me, guy.
Well,
Dave does this all the time. Guy, you get me angry. Why you always
no
gotta
guy.
take it there?
No guy. Not whatsoever. No guy. So, George Padmore, who's from Trinidad, called this gentleman the leading theorist of Pan-Africanism, right, in his time before the 1930s, right? So definitely a gentleman that, if you've never heard of, by means of hopefully we'll go in and scratch the surface and and spark that Genesis moment for you. As a young man, he attended Wesley Boys High School in Cape Coast, later Fura Bay College in Freetown, Sierra Leone. While in Freetown, Casey Hayford became an avid follower of another West Indian, Edward Wilmot Blyden, right, who was, of course, the foremost Pan-Africanist of his time.
Right.
For those who don't know, Blyden, he, if not the first, one of the first leaders of Liberia. Liberia meaning liberation, right? As an
Liberian girl.
there you
Song
go.
By Michael
Yes.
Jackson.
There you go. Right? As an intellectual heir to Edward Blyden, the Liberian West Indian scholar and statesman, Casely Hayford transformed his mentor's ideals concerning African unity into actual political activity. Right?
Okay.
Upon returning to Ghana, he became a high school teacher, then a principal. Right? In fact, during this transition where you were going ahead and actually transform these ideals, right, into
Okay,
political
looks so astute.
activity.
He looks Asian too.
There's some European in there somewhere.
Okay.
Right, that just goes back from generations,
Of course.
right? He was dismissed from his position only because, of course, of his political activity now, right? Not even just that, he was a journalist, right? So with his uncle, the Western Echo, which was owned by his uncle James Hutton Brew, later on it became the Gold Coast Echo, and later on afterwards the Gold Coast Chronicle, right? So I mean, he was this gentleman. I know we only have a short amount of time to go ahead and speaking about this gentleman, but one of the things that he went ahead and did was that in 1911 he wrote the first Pan-African novel, right, called Ethiopia Unbound, right? There we go. That's later cover of it. However, though, the premise of the
that's pretty good for like.
I know it's not an original by me. It's been reprinted over and over, right?
I'm like, wow, that's kept in good condition.
It's just, yes, it is, isn't it? For those of us who like to collect books, this is something that you definitely want in your library.
Do you have it?
Not yet.
Aha.
Not yet.
Something you don't have, Dave?
That's something I
Because you have all of Africa
No,
in your library collection.
I don't.
Clearly.
I don't. No, but it is something that I want. Right?
Okay.
It will happen, right? When the time is right, of course. Right. The premise of the book was simply elucidating his Pan-African ideals. There's I guess the two main characters, one an African, the other one was British, a Brit, basically, and of course the dialogue between the two of them regarding, of course, Pan-African ideas, colonialism, and so on and so forth. Right. So I mean, it's important that, of course, a lot of us understand that where some of these ideals and ideologies are coming from. Right.
Okay.
We spoke about Sankara earlier, and guess, of course, that whole, of course, overthrowing, of course, the colonialist nation, right? Because, of course, we're looking at, of course, that continent, right, which was free at one point in time, prior to, of course, the 1884, Brussels and Berlin conferences, right? So this gentleman right here, right, he's coming out of those conferences and noticing, and listen, these people are carving up our lands, right? We're no longer the free people that we needed to be, right? As a journalist, lawyer, and politician, he contributed to the evolution of Ghana's political independence and socio-economic development. He was the link between the old elite of the 19th century and the new modern elite of the 20th century, epitomizing the values and strengths of West African coast intellectual who stood as equals to their European counterparts.
Okay.
Right. So, once again, yes, it's common, of course, to the European, the Anglo-Saxons, the Caucasians, however you want to go ahead and label them, to go ahead and look down upon us. They call us savages for so many years.
Yeah.
Right? Because we didn't have the same material objects that they had. Right? Let alone, of course, later on in life, we come to find out that the greatest military strategist was an African woman.
Boom.
Queen
Nzinga. With no military, nothing, and she was savage.
Didn't study in any of their schools, didn't wear any of their garments, right?
And infiltrated and won.
Right?
Sorry, I'm so cocky about that sometimes. I get, you know what it is? It's because I just think ever since I've heard that story,
right?
I swear that made my backbone, I stand up right, because I'm just like, that gangster.
Yeah, because we stand on their shoulders, right? For all of their great achievements, even their failed achievements, we still stand on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Right? Sankara, although he went overthrown, but that revolution, and what he set something in motion, but he never lived long enough to go ahead and see it through.
Yeah.
Same thing with Nkrumah, right? Same thing with Thomas Mboya, right? There are so many leaders, who set this thing in motion. Marcus Garvey, another one, right?
Yes.
But of course, they didn't live long enough to see this thing through.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of the stuff just fell.
Yes.
Fell. And that's what's, I think, disappointing is we're hoping, I know we're hoping that telling people some of this stuff is going to spark that. We've already done this.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
We've taken a literacy rate from 17% up whatever number I miscalculated.
To exponential figures, yes?
Yeah. Yes, that word right there. I can spell it, but I don't know what it means. So... No, honestly, it's just to see that is fantastic. So let's finish talking about this, Max. I know there's some more things we want to say before we go.
Let me go to some good points.
Yes, find the good points.
Yes. While visiting London in 1911, he gave financial assistance to Duse Muhammad Ali to get his African Times and Orient Review off the ground. For those who don't know Duse, as some people call him, he was a Moor. Right, so he's of course larger in the Moorish circles. Deuce also did some work with Marcus Garvey as well. Right, so there's a relationship in regards to the Moors and as well as Marcus Garvey that needs to be explored a little bit more. Right, from of course Marcus Garvey's dress, his regalia, right, and then alone of course his relationship not only to just the Deuce, but as well as to of course our noble Drew Ali, right. So it's amazing in regards to the support that he lent. Right, Liberia was of course one of the countries that it lent support to, right? Booker T. Washington was another gentleman, of course, in the Americas that he was familiarly closer with as well. Right, participating in a conference in the Americas regarding, of course, the overthrowing of colonialism. Right, so his reach, stemmed into the Americas as well. Okay. Right. That family name, Casey Hayford, is anybody that hasn't had a chance to go and look up that family name, from his second wife, Adelaide. I think we have a picture. Yes, there you go, the second wife. She became a prominent figure in women's rights, and as well as, of course, in the liberation movement. Although they divorced, they had a daughter, Gladys, right, who became a poet. There she is as well, the first Ghanaian poet. Right,
okay.
So there's that generation, stemming, of course, from the Casey Hayfords that went on and did great things.
That hairstyle was wild.
Imagine that's the only thing you know.
That's all I know. That's just like that hairstyle was serious.
Yeah, man.
That was what was popping back then.
For sure.
Forget the lace front. Lace front. What?
So with this gentleman, I can't do it enough justice in regards, of course, to speaking about this gentleman. From the countless understudies that he had, from Joseph Dankwa, who we'll get into another segment at some point, who was mentored to, of course, the Kwame Nkrumah, right? So, I mean, he's the founding father, of course, of the political movement which led to the independence. Because at the earliest time, nobody else in Ghana was going and speaking of such matters. So, Casey Hereford.
That is... Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do is, I wanted to curse Dave off today, but we're going to save that for next segment. So next week, guys, we are going to continue our Man of Power. We're going to keep going with it. And we're going to talk about some other great men in history. And of course, I'm just going to vent as to why Dave always has to go deeper than me on all these topics. I thought I was cool going back to like the 60s. This man went back to like,
you did well, man. Listen,
whatever.
man. Listen, you brought light to, of course, to a gentleman, right? That a lot of people, some of our viewers probably have never heard of.
So did you, but you went back.
But I've read a few things.
So annoying. We'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned for
Peace
our
and love,
next show.
family.
See everyone soon.
One love.